Hello everyone and welcome to my new video. In this video, we are going to start the second chapter of your book Moments. The name of the chapter is The Adventures of Toto, written by Ruskin Bond. Let us first read about the author. Ruskin Bond, born on 19th May 1934, is an Indian author of British descent. He lives with his adopted family in Lander, Missouri, in India. The Indian Council for Child Education has recognized his role in the growth of children's literature in India. He was awarded the Sahitya Academy Award in 1992 for Our Trees Still Grow in Dehra, his novel in English. He was awarded the Padma Shri in 1999 and the Padma Bhushan in 2014. Most of his works are influenced by life in the hill stations at the foothills of the Himalayas, where he spent his childhood. His first novel, The Room on the Roof, was written when he was 17 and published when he was 21. It was partly based on his experiences at Dehradun in his small rented room on the roof and his friends. His early works were written without it being meant for any particular readership. His first children's book, Angry River, published in the 1970s, had its writing toned down on a publisher's request for a children's story. On writing for children, he said, I had a pretty lonely childhood, and it helps me to understand a child better. Bond's work reflects his Anglo Indian experiences and the changing political, social, and cultural aspects of India, having been through colonial, post colonial, and post independence phases of India. Well, this source has been taken from Wikipedia. This information has been taken from Wikipedia. Let us now have a quick introduction of the chapter. This is a humorous and adventurous story of a naughty monkey named Toto. The writer's grandfather bought the monkey from a Tonga driver. The pranks played by Toto have been narrated in an interesting way and make the story a must read for us. Well, believe me, it's a fabulous story. Well, let us begin with the text now. The Adventures of Toto, written by Ruskin Bond. Have you ever had a baby monkey as a pet? Toto is a baby monkey. Let's find out whether he is mischievous or docile. Grandfather bought Toto from a Tonga driver for the sum of 5 rupees. The Tonga driver used to keep the little red monkey tied to a feeding trough, and the monkey looked so out of place there that grandfather decided he would add the little fellow to his private zoo. Toto was a pretty monkey. His bright eyes sparkled with mischief beneath deep set eyebrows, and his teeth, which were a pearly white, were very often displayed in a smile that frightened the life out of elderly Anglo Indian ladies. But his hands looked dried up, as though they had been pickled in the sun for many years. Yet his fingers were quick and wicked, and his tail, while adding to his good looks, grandfather believed a tail would add to anyone's good looks, also served as a third hand. He could use it to hang from a branch, and it was capable of scooping up any delicacy that might be out of reach of his hands. Well, let's begin with the explanation. The grandfather of the narrator bought a monkey named Toto from a Tonga driver by paying him 5 rupees. Well, the Tonga driver had tied the little red monkey to a feeding trench. A trench is a dugout, so that he could not run away. When the narrator's grandfather saw the monkey, he had a wish, a wish to add him to the group of animals which he had in his own private zoo at home. The narrator describes Toto. He had bright, shiny eyes which were full of mischief. The eyebrows were deep and clean, defined on his face. His teeth were pearl white. Many ladies belonging to the Anglo Indian community got scared when they saw his teeth, which were displayed when he smiled. Toto's hands were dry and crumpled, as if they had been dried in the sun like pickles for many years. He had a long tail. The narrator's grandfather thought that the tail added to the good looks of any animal. Toto's tail was like the third hand for him. It helped him hang from the branch of a tree. He also used it to lift objects which were beyond his hand's reach. Well, now back to the text. Grandmother always fussed when grandfather brought home some new bird or animal. So it was decided that Toto's presence should be kept a secret from her until she was in a particularly good mood. Grandfather and I put him away in a little closet opening into my bedroom wall, where he was tied securely, or so we thought, to a peg fastened into the wall. A few hours later, when grandfather and I came back to release Toto, we found that the walls, which had been covered with some ornamental paper chosen by grandfather, now stood out as naked brick and plaster. The peg in the wall had been wrenched from his socket, and my school blazer, which had been hanging there, was in shreds. Well, the grandmother was against the grandfather's approach of buying and bringing new pets at home, whether they were birds or animals. So the grandfather thought that they would hide this fact from her until she was in a good mood. During that particular time, they would disclose it to her. The writer and his grandfather hid and safeguarded Toto in a little store place in the writer's room. In order to be assured that Toto did not escape, they tied him to a peg or hook in the wall. The writer and his grandfather reached out to Toto after a few hours. The sight was really dreadful and shocking. Toto had torn the ornamental wallpaper. He had broken the peg and had run away from his tie. Also, he had torn the writer's blazer into small pieces. Well, let us check out the new words that we have encountered in the text so far. Feeding trough, which means a big container for feeding animals. Then we have tonga, which is a cart driven by horse. Anglo Indian, meaning a person relating to both Britain and India. Pickled, which means food that is preserved in vinegar. Next word is scooping up, that means lifting up. Next we have peg, which means a hook which is placed in wall to hang something. Then we have ornamental, which means decorative, very beautiful. Then we have naked, which means uncovered. Then we have wrenched, which means broken. The next word is socket, which means an attachment. Then we have the last words as shreds, which means to cut into thin slices. That means tiny pieces. The narrator's blazer were into shreds, that means it was cut down into small pieces. Well, that's all we have in this video. I hope you have understood the text that we have covered so far. In the next video, we shall continue with the explanation. For more videos, please subscribe to the channel and don't forget to ring the notification bell. Thank you.